Hello everyone and welcome back to PAX and Recreation. And today is podcast time, baby. So trying to make this weekly. We're making an effort here to make them weekly. Sometimes it's more of an effort of, it sounds weird coming from a person that has hour-long videos unboxing one thing, but try to have topics to talk that are not too repetitive because there are always news every week, but and also trying to make it not too dated. It's kind of a thing in itself. So today, and I'm going to start opening as I talk. So in case you're new to this, welcome. The way we do this is I just crack these packs while I talk about the world of Magic and some other nerd stuff, right? It's kind of a free flow thing. And then based on your comments from last week's and whatnot, I also go forward. So come in, sit, enjoy, and if you're working, well, keep the grind, and whenever I pull something weird, I will make the signature noises of wow, that's crazy. It's that meme of that guy that goes wow, well, something like that. So today we're going for yet another play booster box of Edge of Eternities. I know I am late as all hell to this party, but in my defense, I got my toys way too late, right? So by the moment I'm recording this, the Spider-Man pre-release already happened, right? So I am literally against the clock on this one, but knowing the current rhythm of releases and whatnot, I am always going to be against the clock unless I get previews or I work with a store that sends me the cards way early, because all my LGSs, they are bro, that's cool what you do, but yeah, we don't, unless we have authorization. And it's understandable, they don't want to burn themselves with wizards, even though it will be very difficult to figure out which stores are giving me the cool stuff, but still, I digress. So some of them kind of squeeze a card here and there ahead of the date so that I can sometimes I have stuff on time, but most of the time it's just plain dude opening things. And I made a point before I started recording this to be okay, I'm not going to be overly negative today, right? Which which is difficult in the world of Magic nowadays. Not because loading song, not because it's it's so difficult not to be a hater, but it's really just because, for better or worse, a lot of the news and stuff that happens in the MTG world, and even the trading card world, a lot of times, is kind of right. So unless you collect One Piece, I guess those are the happiest TCG players right now. At least under my perspective, it's because Digimon is kind of floating. Dragon Ball, a lot of stores that I used to go from time to time to go buy some Dragon Ball cards, they don't no longer have Dragon Ball, which is a shame, not because the game is crazy. By the way, Lava Claw reaches, nice. It's not because Dragon Ball is being such a success, not really, but mostly because Halia, Guided by Light, not bad, is a cool booster. Foil Mental Modulation, a nice Plains, and I guess I don't even know where to put all these cool toys, and a double-sided token. Whoever at Wizards decided these people are right. Adding ads to boosters that people are already buying is kind of pointless because they are already buying the booster, so they kind of know about Magic. So might as well just make them double-sided tokens, right? And that whoever made that decision after all these years of having ads in the extra token slot, thank you. You're a saint. So Digimon feels like it's kind of there, I guess. Not dead, but also not super strong. The Final Fantasy TCG, ironically, is gaining some traction because of Final Fantasy. I think that the Final Fantasy Magic collaboration, I think that a lot of people were just wait, they had a card game already? And, a lot of things happened there. Nice. Entropic Battle Cruiser and foil. Not bad. So I think that was certainly a happy thing for people that were playing that act proactively. And Dragon Ball disappeared from all my providers. I don't know what's up. I don't know if they discontinued the game. Actually, I haven't searched for those news, but it seems like they discontinued it. Granted, Dragon Ball, is kind of like Digimon and whatnot in terms of gameplay. They are very big air quotes, right? They are very similar in the sense that I guess you could make the point that every TCG kind of plays like Magic to a degree, but those were trying to not be exactly like Magic, because Pokemon is pretty much like light Magic because it was created by Wizards of the Coast, the first version, blah blah blah. So it's kind of a skin of Magic since the beginning. Then it kind of diverted and keeps diverting. That's good. Yugi, it's kind of its own thing, but very obviously is based nice stomping ground. Is very heavily influenced by Magic the Gathering and whatnot, but with its own identity. Terminal Velocity is such a good card to just I'm mixing this one with the other cards. Yeah, I'm mixing this one with the Commander decks, which, by the way, if you haven't watched that video, watch it. I also got the Commander decks for Edge of Eternities way too late because, my stores didn't have stock and I refused to buy from scalpers. But the max I'm willing to go is like $10 or something like that, and it really depends on the product. Because I'm like, okay, listen, you got it first, then me, you went like $10 extra, it seems reasonable. Maybe, we, depending on the product, depending on the person, we can go maybe higher, maybe. I never paid that much, but maybe. And if it's an old product, when I bought my my Commander, how is it called? Commander. I'm watching the box from here, and I can't remember the name. The boxes that had Anthology, the Commander Anthology. So when I bought my Commander Anthologies, I bought them way too late. So obviously they had some level of markup, not like a crazy markup, but they had some markup. And we did the videos on those. Those are some of the first videos from this channel. So if you're going to watch those, bear with me. But it's not that our videos right now are crazy, but you can tell that I was baby packs on that one. But if it's old stuff, I'm okay. I mean, someone had to buy it and save it all this time, so I'm you pay for that. But for new stuff, nah, no thank you. So I played with the Commander decks recently too, for the video review. As I said, normally I play a couple of games, more than a couple of games, 4 or 5, and try to get with the dudes and the dudettes, and I share the decks and I try to kind of play them against each other and see how it works. That's good, but then I kept playing with it. I'm kind of digging them. It's not my favorite Commander decks ever, but certainly a breath of fresh air from some of the most attempts, and I guess something to clean my wounds out of the Terra deck from Final Fantasy VI. But I digress, as usual. Well, this is a podcast, so you know what you're signed for. But it's a single dude podcast, which is the next level. It's basically a monologue. Well, actually, it is what it is. It's a monologue. But so Dragon Ball, I think, is dead or something. I don't know. At least all the stores that I normally buy, and even some other stores that I went out of my way for, is nope. And to be honest, again, it's not like I play Dragon Ball like crazy, but I like Dragon Ball a lot. If you follow this channel, because I open all sorts of Dragon Ball figures. I have figures from other stuff, but for some reason called, I was raised on that shit, but for circumstances, the art on this card is so weird. For circumstances, I just love Dragon Ball a lot, and just recently, around the time that this channel exists, I bought a lot of Dragon Ball figures, so there's a lot of Dragon Ball videos in this channel. So the cards are also kind of on that vibe. When I open Dragon Ball cards, it's I don't care at all about rarity or power levels or whatever. It's just like, ooh, cool card, Goku Super Saiyan and all those stuff. So I'm just being a nerd on that. And I guess to a degree you can call that true happiness, I guess. But so that's with Dragon Ball. Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood, this is a very skewed perspective, right? So if you're an avid Flesh and Blood player, which will be weird that you're watching a Magic the Gathering unboxing, but if you know at least about Flesh and Blood, like if you follow the thing, Flesh and Blood was advertised and still is flagged, another Entropic Battlecruiser, by some people as like the magic killer and all that. And I think that Magic the Gathering, by design, is a very difficult game to kill. Like, look at Wizards, they are trying their hardest and this thing is still rocking, but and it's called Flesh and Blood because you need to play it in Flesh and Blood and whatnot. And yes, there are online versions of it. Thank God, because where I live not even like in my region, like in regions that are close as well, I can't find a lot of people to play Flesh and Blood. So it's like when Nintendo did like the Street Pass, and it's like, oh, with Street Pass you can do all these things, and it's like, cool, but what if I don't live like? What if I don't go to a big city every day? It's very difficult. And then after some years, they were like, okay, we will add like a spot pass. So when you have your console connected to the internet in your house, you can also get some benefits. It's like, oh, thank you. Nice. Anti-causal vestige. I just love the art. It's so weird. And, Eldrazi goes boom. That's always good. But when this card leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Then you may put a permanent card with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. It has a warp 4. You may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost. Exile this creature at the beginning of the next end step. Then you may cast it from the exile and a later turn. Okay, not bad. I completely forgot what I was saying. So, nice. I love these freaking lands. And it's weird because I was thinking about this the other day as I was like organizing my cards, and it's like, these things look so much like a proxy. It's crazy because it's like, they're lovely, and in the context of this thing exists, like space opera magic exists, they make sense. But if I appear to play with you one day with cards like this, you will be like, man, this dude loves Star Wars or some shit, and it's just like proxies from space. Because there's this thing that I've been thinking, like when a Magic card looks too clean, as in like art and just the title or something, it, at least to me, it does smell like proxy. It smells like proxy spirit. Like, you know what I mean? And I think the reason for that is because a lot of, well, you can just proxy normal cards, but a lot of the fancy cards that are proxied are normally like the secret lair drops or the special treatment. Well, not special treatment. Special treatment is difficult, but like the special arts, basically, like the stuff like these lands and whatnot, right? So I guess, and then people make like their own custom stuff, and it's always like stuff like this. So I guess that's why they scream proxy so badly to me. But yeah, so Flesh and Blood, thankfully I can play it online with some dudes. There are some Discord servers and whatnot, and there are some like makeshift fan stuff to play Flesh and Blood. I kind of wish they had like a Flesh and Blood arena, but I guess that, you know, they are focusing on the game. I know it was a lot easier for me to get stuff from Flesh and Blood like a year or two ago, and more recently in a lot of retailers it's been very difficult. Like they don't carry it anymore. I don't know why. I guess not enough people bought it, I guess, but and then apparently there's some controversies or whatnot. I'm not that into what's happening with Flesh and Blood. Pokemon is the usual, like they release new products, new stuff. The latest set is like, it's basically like the black and white generation. Like it's basically black and white, but we're still in Scarlet and Violet, so it's very confusing. And I am a Pokemon fan. Imagine if you're just like a collector or something, you will be like, what? So, well, I guess maybe those guys will not be as confused. The Pokemon fans are the ones confused. But I guess it is what it is. Like a generation the Pokemon generations are stretching to some degree, and they still need to Infinite Guideline Station. So this is by default the best Spacecraft Commander because it's 5 colors. You know how this works. So let's see. When it enters, create a tap 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token for each multicolored permanent you control. It has a station for 12 plus, and when it gets stationed, it basically is a 7/15. It has flying, and whenever Infinite Guideline Station attacks, draw a card for each multicolored permanent you control. Okay, it's kind of a multicolor tribal, I guess. It reminds me of Jared Carthalion. It was like very focused on like colors. You remember in the precon? And Pokemon is kind of the same. Like if you want to play it and so on, it's not crazily prohibitive. Sometimes it's more like difficult to get the products right away because, you know, people buy them all in mass because then they buy the cards just to grade them, and it's like a different thing. Like that's why you have the joke of like no one plays Pokemon; they just play with their slates of graded cards and whatnot. So, but once like it calms down, you can just buy stuff for MSRP, and they reprint it to hell and beyond. And if you want to actually be competitive in Pokemon cards that cost cents and whatnot, so not bad. And Yugi's all over the place. I see a lot of videos of people like complaining. I follow like the Team APS guys. It's bad when even some of their videos are like, yeah, we need to talk. And it's kind of a shame because I like Yugi. I guess Yugi will have some sort of, public mainstream resurgence when they release that VR game that they're working on, because that shit's gonna be freaking crazy. Like, I know I'm going to play that and I'm going to do all the Kaiba poses and all that shit when I play him alone in my room, like a crazy madman. Just because who doesn't want to? If you ever watch Yugi, if you ever enjoyed Yugi, it's like that's the dream. Just, it's like I summon the blue eyes white dragon, bah! And the freaking thing appearing in front of you is like, poof, it's like, right? I feel like Magic never had that connection, even though you literally summon creatures and all that, and creatures were called summons before. I think the closest experience to that I had in my life was the Eye of Judgment for the PS3, and I sadly, Memnon, the right hand, not bad. By the way, I have like one of the saddest freaking stories. So I play that game, but I don't have it, and I never had it. I just played it like at a friend's house from time to time, and I was like losing my mind. Like the game is obviously limited, and obviously it wasn't a success because they didn't release like more cards and more stuff like they wanted to, right? But that's like the fantasy. They obviously did that like looking at Yu-Gi-Oh, right, and all that stuff. So I am a nerd, and as you know, and I like Yu-Gi, and I liked cards, as you know. So, but back at that time, I wasn't, let's say, as economically free as I am right now. Like it's not like I am Jeff Bezos here, but like, it's like I like that figure. I like, it's like we can afford it. That's why we work at the end of the day, right? To a degree. But back in the day, yeah, the situation was not the same by any means. So I remember, nice Watery Grave in foil. I remember that. I went to I was passing nearby a toy store, right? And I was killing time. I remember I was waiting for something in the same shopping mall. I don't remember what I was waiting for, but I was like, okay, whatever, let's go. And I jumped into the toy store. I was just checking stuff, and they had some games. Obviously, most toy stores that have video games, they always, if there are still any toy stores that sell video games, but 2006, this is like 2008, I guess. It was when Eye of Judgment was released. I don't know. So around that time. And I remember that, if a toy store has video games, normally they are like not good deals at all. Like they only have two states of matter, right? Which is either very bad deals or incredibly crazy deals. So for example, Nice, Sacred Foundry. I mean, the card is good, right? But like, it's a shockland. But the art is just nice. I might like put in it here. I think. Am I? Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Antera Symbiosis. Whenever you put one or more +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, you may draw that many cards. Do this only once each turn. So I remember, and what I mean with the two states of matter is basically like either the games that in most stores are like $40 or $50, in the toy stores would be like 70. It's like no one even like, nowadays it's common to have games at $70, but back in the day, like 2008 or something, was like no one is charging 70 for this. They would be like $69.99, and it's like why? So no one will buy that except like I don't know, parents or grandparents that are like they don't know better. But then they will also have crazy deals, which is they get to a point where like they need to liquidate just to free space, and then suddenly you will have like the craziest deals, like $5 or something, and you will be like, oh, that's good. It will be deals that you wouldn't even find online and stuff. So this was one of those days. I was just walking around. I go to the video game section just to be like, let's see what they have, because maybe if a passing star is nearby, if a comet or something, I can wish for it. And they had Eye of Judgment. The box was a little bit up, even though the box kind of was just like a nice forest. The box was like some stores do that thing that's like display box only, and some will put like a print image or something, but some of them will just put like the empty box, and that's the box that takes all the damage and all that, and then you take it to the cashier, and they will give you the actual product. But if they have a unit in stock, they will give you a new unit. But if it's the last one, you take that box. And if you're a collector like me, that hurts. But it's for the deal, right? So it's a equivalent exchange. Something needs to be given. Otherwise the deal doesn't work. So I look at it. I think it was like $10 or $15, and we're talking a game that came with the PlayStation Eye. So it was like the game, the camera, the cards, and I look at that shit and go like, what? It was like $15 or something, and that game was a lot more expensive than that back in the day. Maybe even $10. I don't remember. I look at that and I go like, nah, this has to be wrong. By the way, this is the Lobster Commander that everyone has been losing their minds over. And I go like, nah, this has to be wrong. And I just look around and go like, And I check the box, check the stuff. So there was only one left. So I pick it up and I ask one of the clerks, and I'm like, is this price correct? And the guy's like, oh yeah, if the price is marked, and the label was like the label for the product. It's not like, someone put the label for a different thing and it was obviously like, no, the label had the name, Eye of Judgment, PS3, blah, blah. So I was like, listen, this is gonna happen. And went to pay for it. And as I said, well, they need to give you the nice Gemstone Caverns. They need to give you the legendary land if this card is in your opening hand and you are not the starting player. You begin the game with Gemstone Caverns on the battlefield with a lock counter on it. If you do, exile a card from your hand. Tap and colorless if it has a lock counter on it. Instead, add 1 mana of any color. Not bad. So yeah, basically, and the Nova Hellkite. Cool. So, you go there and they need to give you a copy from the back store or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I go there and go like, let's see if it passes the cashier. And it actually passes, and the price is actually $15. And I'm like, well, right. So I go to the thing so that they give me the actual unit. The guy looks around. It takes forever. The guy comes back, is like, well, I'm not finding it. Wait a second, etc. So I was there for like a good 20 minutes, half an hour. And it's like, well, sorry, we don't have the product in stock. Apparently it was an error. And I was like, as you can imagine, I was like, oh, fuck my life. So I was like, okay, no problem. Nice looking card, by the way. Arch Enemy's Charm. Remember Arcanemy? I actually have the box there to open it one of these days of the Arcanemy game and talk about some experiences, but it's an episode for another day. So I was like, oh, fuck my life. And the guy's like, oh, sorry, we will give you a refund and we can give you like a voucher, whatever. It's like, and the voucher was like $5 or something. So, it's just like a nice gesture, I guess. And it's like, okay, yeah, thank you. Sorry, no problem with it. So I went in, I bought something else and some other thing, and went away. And to this day, I swear by this, right? I have no proof because I know that someone will be like, "Oh, you could sue them or something." Like, nah, like I have not like solid proof, but like as I was walking out of the store when I went in again to buy like whatever, and then I was walking out, there is this like side area of like the inside the toy store that is like a. It's like a security cabin of sorts. Like the employees have like their stuff in there. I guess this is where they store their stuff. I don't know. So as I was paying and leaving, I see the dude that was like, we can find this with the box and like a bag of things where I could swear I saw like the PlayStation Eye and all that stuff going inside that thing. So to this day, my theory, which I may be biased because I was very hurt by this, because I wanted to play my Yugi Fantasy. But to this day, I think that it's like the guy saw that the thing was incredibly cheap and was like, no, we don't have it. They canceled the thing. And then he like bought it with employee discount, which is even worse, and kept it for himself. Because the guy, by the way, I am like 95% sure it was the manager, if my memory doesn't fail. So, it's one of those. So maybe I just saw things and it's like, maybe it was like the empty box and something else. And I don't know, but I could swear it was like the box and the things that go in the box. So that created a trauma in me. Nice. This swap is nice. So yeah. So if you, and I never got to buy Age of Judgment. Like I know that now I guess I can buy like secondhand cheaply and whatnot. And I could. I just try to not go into eBay too often because you see so much crazy shit. No, but and also I'm a retro collector and I have a lot of old consoles and shit like that. But at the same time, I'm kind of lazy with this stuff, like in the sense that like I love my stuff, and from time to time, very time to time, I will plug stuff in just to like have old memories back. Oh, nice. I didn't know these things came in play boosters. Thanks, Wizards, I guess, for not. I guess that it's like, oh, the foil version is exclusive to the collector boosters. Sure, but at least you get an opportunity at getting these. Not that this art is making me feel anything, but it's nice. So Darkness for 1 black, I guess. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt this turn. It's an instant, and it's a mythic. Edge of Eternities special guests. Okay, not bad. Looks good. Looks kind of weird. I mean, I know the trope, right? I mean, I'm not an idiot, but like, I know the thing is like space opera posters and all that stuff. But like, the art is not. Well, this booster was loaded, so you get Doad, you get Pinnacle Emissary. So like a nice name, and Sothera the Super Void. Is this foil? Because the foils for Edge of Eternities are kind of... No, this is not foil. Right? No, it's not. No, I don't think so. But still, very cool. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. At the beginning of your end step, if a player controls no creature, sacrifice Sothera and then put a creature card exiled with it onto the battlefield under your control with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it. Indeed, the Super Void. So I was saying that I'm basically very lazy with this stuff. It's like I want to play. I would like to play, I guess, Eye of Judgment, but it's like I need to open the box of the PlayStation 3, plug it into the old TV. Well, technically it could be the new TV because it's still HDMI, and but yeah, I don't know. I guess I will do it someday. I don't know. I need to, if I find a good deal. I'm not like going crazy for it, but yeah. So all this because of talking about Yugi. And what other games are there? Well, One Piece. One Piece is just like, there's a lot of games, by the way. One Piece is healthy, I guess. Everyone that plays it is like, I love it. And they can just buy stuff. Sometimes they have like supply issues, but you know, their chase cards are expensive as hell. But you can kind of play decently with a starter deck and whatnot. So I guess it's not that bad. And I also like One Piece a lot. So I also I have a lot of stuff. Like I think I have all the starter decks to date, and I'm always like, I just keep buying them. Like, yeah, we'll open this in the channel, and then I'm like, not really. Like everyone knows what is in the starter deck, so it's kind of pointless. So I just kept buying them and playing with them, and here we are. And I never opened in the channel because it's like, well, people know what is in a starter deck. To be fair, people also know what is in a commander deck, but I do feel like there is something more to say about a commander deck, even more considering that I play Magic a lot. I don't play One Piece that much. The few times that I played it, I liked it, but I wouldn't feel comfortable being like, oh yeah, so this deck is clearly a aggro black strategy. It's like, no. And this card is beautiful, by the way. And well, you have Lorcana, which is its own thing. I felt like it exploded at the beginning with people going like full FOMO on it and let's collect stuff and whatnot. But I haven't seen anyone playing it. I just seen people collecting it. And there's the other new ones that I can't remember the names. So, and you know, some others that I had like high hopes for and then they disappeared. And I remember like Sorcery was one that I was like very frustrated because I couldn't get my hands on it. I arrived too late to the Kickstarter, and I was like, man, this looks good, and it's like an interesting take on like evolution of like a lot of things on Magic and whatnot. I was like, man, fuck, I'm not getting my hands on it, damn, and all that. And oh, nice Echoing Dips, and I think, yeah, it's somewhere in the wild, but certainly not where I can get my hands on it. So I guess it's kind of crazy. So for 1 red, is a 1/1 with Menace. Now a 1/1 with Menace is still a thing. The power creep is crazy. And then for 2, tap an exile artifact card from your graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Then it deals damage equal to its power 20 target. I think it's kind of good, chat. And then, well, you have, I guess, the king, Magic the Gathering. And it's good. We're almost done with the box, and I managed to not say a lot of negative things about Magic. Why? Because I avoided talking about Magic. But yeah, I guess the next videos, the upcoming videos, maybe not the ones after this, but like following that, are going to be about Spider-Man stuff. I got my hands on almost all the Spider-Man stuff. The bundle, for some reason, I couldn't get my hands on, but I'm gonna get it fairly cheap because people don't care about that that much. And so it will be a little late, I guess, but I will get my hands on it, hopefully. The other bundle, though, I got my hands on, which is weird, but luck, I guess. And collector boosters I couldn't get my hands on. But at the same time, I'm not too depressed. Either Wizards or the market are trying to are curing my Stockholm syndrome with this game, because if you follow this channel for a while, and if you don't, like, subscribe and ring the bell and all that stuff, like, I always open at least 1 collector booster box from each set, and I normally bought 2, sometimes 3. Some of them you haven't seen them yet. I have them there on a shelf, not because I'm saving them, because they are stocks, but it's just like, I maybe do a video on them one of these days. It's because, funny enough, with Magic, it's kind of weird. It seems like people enjoy more, it's either like cutting edge stuff or fairly old stuff. All this like 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5, 10, right? But the middle, the warm stuff, not so much. Is weird. At least that's what the metrics tell me. I may be wrong. Let me know. But it does feel like collector booster boxes are getting crazy expensive. Like the Final Fantasy ones were crazy. The Spider-Man ones are crazy, and the Avatar ones are crazy. So I feel it feels like even the LGSs, even if for one of them I was like lucky enough to be like, oh, I can pre-order them, and the price was like $400 or something. And like, listen, brother, everyone needs to earn a living, but I'm not going to help you earning that living, because it's like, no way in hell I'm paying $400 for a collector booster box. Like 12 boosters of cardboard are not worth the same as a freaking console. So it's like, no. And because of that, I think it's curing part of my cardboard addiction, because now I buy some play boosters. And at the beginning I got like a lot of stress, and it's like, man, I couldn't get the cards and I can do the videos and all that. Now it's like, well, I guess let's do podcast, guys, while we chill and open like normal cards like normal people. And then these cards, I've been like giving them to friends or like picking some for my decks, and it's a lot of bulk. Like organizing this is becoming a pain in the ass. One of these days I need to do a video, I mean, if you guys want, on the setup that I have for like scanning the stuff, because it's the weirdest freaking setup. You go like, oh, you use Mana Box. Well, I was like, no. I started using Mana Box. Then as you know, we open a lot of different card games here. So I was like, wait, the Dragon Shield apps are for multiple games. So if I just use Dragon Shield, they have an app for almost every game that I collect. So that's kind of cool. And it is. But then the formats that they use are incompatible with anything else. So it's horrible. You need to like export the spreadsheets and then import the stuff. I don't know. Like the idea is good, but the execution, there's something missing there. They're doing like a new interface and stuff, and it looks a lot better. But yeah, there's a lot of things missing. Also, there's kind of a, like the day that Moxfield just does like a scanning app, there will be no more discussions about scanning apps, because Moxfield is pretty freaking cool. Not sponsored, I guess, but you can do decks, you can do collections, you can do whatever. The interface is clean as hell. They just don't do scans, so you always need to import your cards, which feels like an extra step if you want to have like your collection there. But if they just do like a scanning card or do a partnership with Mana Box or whatever, that thing will be clean. But sadly, no plans in the horizon. Last booster, see? That's kind of fast and not very negative. So I will talk more in detail about the Spider-Man pre-release and whatnot when I actually opened it. I got some extra Spider-Man pre-release kits and all that. So look out for that. For Edge of Eternities, all I can say is I've been, storing my cards, playing with the Commander decks, looking at some cards like the Super Void, and to make like some ideas for Commander decks and whatnot. I don't do that type of video, by the way. I don't have like videos on like, this is why you do crazy this is the crazy Commander deck idea, because I am not that good. There are some guys like the what's the name? Silurus Snail, I think is the name of the channel. Well, it's a snail. Just look like MTG Snail on YouTube. That guy has great videos on decks. And now there is this dude that I can't remember the name of the channel for the life of me. He does the most unhinged Commander decks. That guy is a genius. But it's like also like meme decks a lot of time. I don't remember the name. Damn. But it's also like, I mean, if you start watching like snail videos, this guy will also pop up in your feed. So those guys are like way better. So I don't feel like I'm adding anything to that conversation. Nice. It's not like I did much here either, but but sadly, Edge of Eternities feels like it was an eternity ago. Get it? And now we're already just talking about Avatar and Marvel and all this stuff that is happening. One thing that I will say, by the way, empty box, we did it. One thing that I will say is, the pre-release was kind of empty, and people are more excited about buying Spider-Man stuff than actually I see them playing with Spider-Man stuff. And then there's the whole Flim thing, which is certainly a topic. When I think about this year, I mean, the year hasn't ended. I guess we will do like a end of year video more closer to the end of the year. But when they release the Final Fantasy holiday cards, because that's another thing. There's a lot of rumors and there's a lot of shit. that these guys are going to do like a Final Fantasy holiday set the same way they did with the Lord of the Rings, and they just reprint stuff and so on. If that's the case, please, because I just want to play booster boxes. I'm not even asking for collector boosters at this point, which if they do for Final Fantasy, they're going to do with a different art. So that happened with Lord of the Rings, and I was trying to collect that set, and suddenly it was like 1,000 something cards, and I was like, no, thank you. And see, like Wizards is kind of attempting against my will to collect their game. It's crazy. But at least I guess they're going to release Jumpstart boxes or more scene boxes for Final Fantasy or something. As long as they reprint more boxes. And Ultra Pro, please reprint your fucking Commander deck boxes. I don't know why they're not reprinting the accessories. I guess because of rights or something. But it's like, really? Like you only reprinted you only printed once all your stuff and that's it? Like no more reprints of Final Fantasy stuff? Spider-Man has all the accessories with GameGenic because of an existing agreement with Marvel, I guess. So not bad, but now I need to find those because GameGenic is... I love GameGenic. It was kind of weird. Like some stores only have GameGenic stuff and some stores don't have any GameGenic stuff. It's like either one or the other. I never seen a store that is like, oh, we have GameGenic and other stuff. At least like in good quantities. So there is that. Also, there are some rumors about some more collaborations with Nickelodeon. That thing can be crazy. I mean, we already had SpongeBob and Avatar, so you can only imagine what can come out of it. I wish it is a set and not a secret lair because I don't like secret lairs. Ironically, I have a couple of secret lairs to do a video. I have a reason for that. You will see when the video is out. But I don't like secret lairs because, again, I hate the whole FOMO thing. It's like, listen, if you want my money as a company, I will give you my money, right? And this is cardboard, and you already decided one. So if you, I don't know, you could do print to demand. That's also a thing. But like, you know, if you print 1,000 and you sell 1,000 and you see that there is still more interest, just print 500 more and you will sell 1,500. The problem with Wizards is that they keep doing the whole like, yeah, but think about the secondary market. Think about the kids. And that's why they don't reprint. And I know that someone once commented in a video of mine that is like, well, that's the point. It's a limited item. And it's like, yes, I know. I'm a collector. But the thing is, I understand it's a limited item as in it was a limited run. And that's it. But I don't understand a company being like, yeah, we have this cool thing that costs us almost nothing to print. And we're not going to get more money from it. We're just going to let it be like a race every time we release something, because then people get tired. And at this point, I'm just tired of like running after product. So it's ironically for me, I'm not like those posts on Reddit like I'm quitting Magic because of Spider-Man. It sounds like a lot of it sounds like a Green Goblin post, like I'm quitting Magic because of freaking Spider-Man. But certainly it's making me focus more on the game aspect, because I was a lot more of a whale, I guess, just like buy, open, and just because, and just for me, I don't resell. But now I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to run after that shit, sorry, no. So I'm just going to buy if I can, and then just focus on playing. And as a last note to end this, don't pay markups. Don't feed scalpers. If no one feeds the scalpers, then they will die eventually, I hope. They will have to eat the cardboard, because, you know, if no one buys it, then they will have to eat it. I still remember with a lot of the rings, all that speculation because of the One Ring. And then the moment the One Ring was revealed, some stores to this day still have those booster boxes for like $600, the collector booster boxes for a lot of the rings. But a lot of them immediately went like, nope, and tried to dump them as fast as possible because they knew that the value will drop. So stocks, I guess, right? So, you know, when I think about this year, and this is the last thing, I promise. When I think about this year, I think my memories are going to be divided. I will have, ironically, happy memories about Edge of Eternities and Tarkir Dragonstorm. Tarkir Dragonstorm, I was expecting it to be good. Edge of Eternities was kind of a surprise, not because of the theme, because I like space and all that shit, but, you know, you lose faith after a while. So, and sour memories because of Spider-Man, which is one of my favorite superheroes, and Final Fantasy, which is one of my favorite video game sagas, and this being difficult. So I guess Avatar is going to be difficult as well. and yeah, the Ether Drift also happened, I guess. And when you think, oh, but why you have sour memories, it's like, well, think about it this way. You love Magic, you love something else, in this case, Spider-Man or Final Fantasy. So you see two of your loves coming together, right? It's like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I don't know why that's the best analogy that came to my head, but and you're like, what can come wrong out of that, right? It's like, well, actually in that relationship, a lot of things came wrong, but it's like, I don't know, chocolate and strawberry ice cream. I don't know. It's like, it's a good combination. Everything has to be good, but then suddenly mixing the two just brings you stress and shit because it's like, well, I guess I don't, and then you proxy. So thank you very much for watching. So let me know down below your opinions, your thoughts. What are you when it comes to all these trading card games? If you only play Magic, that's cool too. I mean, most of even though I open and collect a lot of these, my heart is, and Yugi is my first, and where my true OCD started. And I'm a Pokemon trainer since Pokemon Red. Magic is kind of Magic. It hits different. That's why it doesn't die. So I don't know, it goes from person to person, but let me know. Happy to do more of this. If you want me to tackle a topic in particular, just fire it away, and I guess we'll tackle it in the next podcast. I try to make all the other videos more or less atemporal, so like not so much talking about the current stuff that is happening in the world, but it can be whatever. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment, because the comments really make my day. Also, apparently they help a lot with the algorithm, but just seeing the conversation just really rocks. Sometimes I take a while to reply, but it's not because I hate you. It's just because I try to do this and have a life, like a job to pay for this. So it's kind of tricky, but I will eventually get to reply to all of you, if not in video form, in text. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.